So I click the button to record the show, right? After you were like, I'm waiting on you, motherfucker, right? So I do that. And it starts the countdown. Yeah, it sounded better when I put the motherfucker on the end. Yeah. I threw the Samuel L. Jackson on the end of it. Moving forward, motherfucker is now Samuel L. Jackson on this show. That is now the code word for motherfucker. But anyway, once you hit the countdown, you can't access the media board, which means I couldn't scroll to the show title or the show theme during the countdown. Riverside's like, have your shit in order, bro. Like, that's what Riverside is basically.
This is not some mom and pop blog talk radio lady operation.
There's a reason why the food at the mom and pop restaurant is better.
Powered by Riverside FM.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just going to point out some of it seems a little old man yells at cloud. I don't like change. I don't like my new podcasting platform. Yeah. It took her years.
We already have our first show title candidate, so that's good.
Is it only going to be coming from me? These running show titles?
No, this one was for me.
Oh, okay.
This one was for me. I didn't even get one from you. I will though.
Fair enough.
No, candidate number one is there's a reason the food at the mom and pop shop tastes better.
Right. Yeah. Don't go to Buc-ee's.
He's a man. Such a man. Such a man. He's a real. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Welcome to the fourth ever edition of the Grown Ass Man podcast with Greg DeMarco, Patrick O'Dowd, here on the Chairshot Radio Network, which you can find at thechairshot.com.
Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
Patrick, where can you find it? Where?
Chairshot.com.
Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
At Grown Ass Man Pod on your social media. At Chairshot Media on your social media. He's at Wrestling Realist. It's WRESTLNG. That's right. There's no I in wrestling. REALIST. I gotta do it again now because I broke it up and now it doesn't make sense to people. It's WRESTLNGREALIST. There's no I in wrestling, but there is one in realist, like there is one in Patrick, and there is one in friend, or my best friend, the wrestling realist Patrick O'Dowd. See, I still remember it all. It's all there.
I mean,
I am
15 years of podcasting. I hope so.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. We had that conversation a few months ago. The 15 years of podcasting conversation.
I want to derail this right away, though, because I have a question.
Derail away. This is what we do, is we derail.
I mentioned Buc-ee's. I've never been to a Buc-ee's. Have you been to a Buc-ee's?
So don't go to Buc-ee's is potential show title number 2 after you said that earlier. And so I'm at Greg DeMarco 44 and go to prowrestlingtees.com/chairshot.
No, I don't care.
Pick up one of those. We will pick up one of those beautiful Chairshot tees. Look, the reason why I'm doing this, you want to know the honest reason why I'm doing this is because you, Patrick O'Dowd, you do such a good job with that aspect on Bandwagon Nerds that I felt motivated to do a better job of it on this show. So don't give me any of that, Samuel L. Jackson. I'm already sticking to the gag of Samuel L. Jackson as well. I am living the gimmick, and I will. I wish I had the Snakes on a Plane soundbite. I don't think we do. That's like several computers ago.
That's a future us problem.
No, I looked. I was looking just now to see.
How about this? A future us solution.
Oh, I like that.
We will.
God, you are
sure have Samuel L. Jackson.
Solution focused, Patrick O'Dowd.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
Not you. You are proper.
It'd be nice working with proper villains again.
Okay. Now, I've gotten all the good stuff out. Please re-ask your question.
Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
So, and had we been recording, or maybe we weren't, just didn't come up, we have a Buc-ee's. And this is going to derail the entire show. So they opened a Buc-ee's in Goodyear, Arizona, which is a city next to the one that I live in, off the I-10 in Bullard Road, or Bullard Avenue. I think it's Bullard Road.
Right.
And This was like, you've ever seen the big deal they make when the president comes to town?
Yeah, well, and I don't have one near me, so I don't.
No, you don't.
All I
No,
see
you don't.
is the hype from others.
Yes.
Buc-ee's shows up, whether it be my Midwest people that I grew up around, or not you, like you didn't be like, oh my God, Patrick, there's a Buc-ee's coming. But like people get psycho for this and they like make it part of their, they road trip somewhere on vacation. They talk about it.
Obviously, I didn't say do the oh my God you have a Buc-ee's or tell you oh my God you got a Buc-ee's because we just opened one a couple of months ago and I didn't tell you about it.
A couple months,
and I haven't told you about it.
Yeah.
So that's how important Buc-ee's is to me. But here's the thing. So they opened this Buc-ee's at I-10 in Bullard Avenue. I can't fucking remember. And first of all, they had to close the exit for a good couple weeks beforehand to make the road bigger for Buc-ee's. When it was opening for an indefinite amount of time, they wouldn't say how long they were going to have to do this. But when you exited on Bullard Road, you had to go down a 6.5 mile trek to then come back up to the Buc-ee's because the Buc-ee's is on the north side of the road. It's a divided road. Bullard's a major road. And they had to divert this. And they said basically they were going to keep it that way until it wasn't necessary anymore. You had to wait hours people camped out before Buc-ee's opened the night before, like 24 hours beforehand. This is Arizona. This is in the sun. This is June, July shit, right? So a few weeks in, my daughter and I went to eat. I believe we went to Slim Chickens. No, we went to the movies. We went to a Tuesday night movie. We saw the Harkins Theaters here on Tuesday nights. They will show old movies. And they showed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Classic.
Yes, I said, good day, sir. And, well, actually, that's Mandela effect. He doesn't say sir. He just says, I said, good day.
I said, good day.
And afterwards, we said, let's go see the Buc-ee's. My son had suggested it multiple times, but then when I would suggest it, he wouldn't want to go. My wife still hasn't been. So we go to the Buc-ee's. We find a parking spot. Now, first of all, it's a gas station.
Right.
Okay. Thank God I didn't need gas because everyone was parked in the gas stalls as a parking spot because you can't find parking. Because again, it's the grand opening of fucking Disneyland here. No, it's Buc-ee's. And so we found a parking spot, had a nice little walk into Buc-ee's. And I mean, it was absolute insanity. There was a 45-minute wait for the grab and go food, like the brisket burritos and shit like that. They have these beaver nuggets. They have a beaver nugget scented candle that almost made me sick. I'm not lying. Okay. They, of course, have the fountain drinks. I didn't go in the bathrooms. I should have because apparently they're amazing. They have the Buc-ee's merch everywhere. They have Buc-ee's sandals, Buc-ee's onesies, Buc-ee's swimsuits, Buc-ee's. They probably have a Buc-ee's G-string. I just didn't look for it. Okay. And they had all this stuff. Like you could literally decorate your home in Buc-ee's. They had a giant inflatable Buc-ee that you could buy for like $50. I know I will see these at Christmas. I know. Oh, they're sure as shit gonna have a Buc-ee's themed Christmas Buc-ee giant ass fucking beaver that we can see. Giant ass fucking beaver would be the name of the show if it didn't have fucking in it.
You can write effing.
I can. And everything that like we were there for about 15 minutes. We did a giant loop around the whole place. We bought nothing. We didn't. The snacks were like overpriced and whatever. And we left and I'm like, that was it? Like the one thing I would have gotten at Buc-ee's, the one thing that I was excited, I was like, oh, they have to have soft serve ice cream, the little ice cream machine. They don't. They have coffee, they have soda, they have donuts, they have whatever, they have brownies, they have whatever. They have like ice cream in the cooler, but like I'm not going to buy ice cream in the cooler at Buc-ee's. I can get Ben and Jerry's anywhere.
Is it the food thing then? Like the people waiting 45 minutes for a burrito or these beaver nuggets or whatever the hell they are? Like, because I'm very much like you and that's why I made the "don't go to Buc-ee's" joke in that, like it looks like a gas station on steroids with a cute beaver mascot. And if they're not even if people are not even going to that gas station to get gas.
Well, they couldn't if they wanted to. That's the problem.
Right, because everybody's parked there as a spot.
Because they're fucking lazy. From what I understand, it does die down. I've even heard people that walked right in. We walked right in. Again, it was a Tuesday night. I think that weekend there were wait times again. They stopped diverting the traffic eventually after a couple weeks. But right. I would imagine it dies down, but I don't think it's ever quote unquote normal. Because remember when you and I would drive to Ring of Honor shows and we would get off at the rest stop on the Jersey Turnpike and we would eat and we would whatever. It was never dead.
No.
Even 2 a.m, it was busy.
Right. There's people leaving a wrestling show, stopping at the rest.
Yes. All 400 people at the Ring of Honor show.
We met Samoa Joe at that rest stop, sir.
We did. And then I met him again 20 years later.
I hadn't approached him first.
And
I'm a coward when it comes to doing that shit.
We'll talk about Christopher Daniels later.
Never again. So humiliating. I'm a coward.
But anyway,
I'll admit it. I'm a coward.
But anyway, so yes, Buc-ee's was the most overrated, overblown thing I have ever seen. And occasionally somebody will respond to something we say on this podcast. I guarantee you somebody will send me a message.
Yeah, I just don't, and I have no frame of reference, right? I just know that people rave about it, but I make jokes about it because they're also incredibly corporate. It's fascinating. Like people love these places, and they've found a way to corporatize a gas station to the point where they're now getting bad press because they sue other businesses for lack of a better way to describe it, gimmick infringement. And
you know it.
Like any
and it's not even gimmick infringement. It's just any other little cute animal on a logo.
They sue them and be like, that looks like Buc-ee's. The big one, so John Oliver.
I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, he did a whole thing on it. And there's a small grocery store I literally think the name of the town is like Beavertown, Ohio. And they're this little grocery store. It's not even a grocery store. It's like a convenience store. Actually looks like a beaver. It's not like just
right.
or anything, but it was there before the Buc-ee showed up. Like Buc-ee showed up in like 2 months ago. And this store's been around since at least like 2019. And yet they're getting sued into like Buc-ee's is trying to sue them into oblivion to change their logos. And the town is rallying really hard behind this business right now to fight Buc-ee's because it's just stupid. And nobody in a million years is going to be confused looking at a little convenience store in Beavertown, Ohio and
thinking it's a Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Like it looks like it could hold, it doesn't even have gas pumps. Like it looks like it could hold like 20 people tops.
Well, the original Buc-ee's, which are still standing, looks like that. I've seen a picture of it. Because unfortunately, my algorithm for like a month was Buc-ee's, crazy.
Gotta love the socials, man. So anyway, thank you for satisfying my curiosity about Buc-ee's. I don't know that I'll ever see one in my neck of the woods.
Next time you come, I don't think you will. Not anytime soon. Next time you come here, we'll go just so you can say I've seen it. And it sucked.
Is it next to a Hardee's? Can I get?
It's next to nothing. They built it on what used to be called ground of dirt, like field of dirt, and because you need a plot of land big enough to build a Buc-ee's. Yeah. And apparently, this is a small Buc-ee's. Okay, and it has like 200 gas pumps.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yes, so it's absolutely absurd. It is America at its finest. Is what it is. And I walked into the Buc-ee's, and after I left 15 minutes later, you know what I thought?
What'd you think?
That's what I thought. Should have known better.
Well done.
Should have known better. So anyway, we are again, we got a good 15 minutes out of Buc-ee's, so I'm happy with that. That's a stand-up comic in me. Whenever you hear me say I got blank out of that, that's a stand-up comedy term. That's you could be like, yeah, there's not much there. I can probably get a solid 5 minutes out of it. That's a stand-up comedy term. So this week on Bandwagon Nerds, Patrick O'Dowd and PC Tunney did a special edition of Bandwagon Nerds where they did a 5x5. Explain the 5x5 super briefly. Small potatoes for everybody.
Basically, we make a list of the 5 best and 5 worst, in our opinions, of a given topic.
There you go. Very good. You really snapped. You really shortened the description.
You didn't think I could
that was amazing. Like that was.
You didn't think I had that kind of brevity.
That was fucking. That was some good shit right there. Like I'm blown away. You deserve. I think there's one of these here. You deserve this. Well done. Well done, good sir. Well done. So, what was the 5x5 that you all did on the special 5x5 edition of Bandwagon Nerds this week?
Our 5 greatest of all time shows and our 5 what we would call worst shows. And again, to us.
Yes. To the two of you.
I want to be clear about that as we go into this. But anyway.
The goats and
then the goats.
The goats, yes. So you put Friends and some other shows pretty low on, and that was Friends number 1, and then Seinfeld as well. I think was your number 3 or number 5. Goat in a bad way. Number 3. And The Office number 3. And you had a very similar criticism for all 3 shows. And that's what I want to talk about. I'm not here, by the way, BTW. I am not here to say you're wrong or anything like that. Like, that's not what this is about. I think your opinion on these shows is a very good discussion point, because the whole time you're talking about it, I'm talking to the two of you. Of course, you can't hear me explaining why these shows are what they are, and probably mansplaining because I am a guy. But so you had Seinfeld number 5, The Office number 3, and Friends number 1 on your goats in a bad way portion of the list, your bottom 5, your 5 worst. What is your big major criticism of all 3 of these shows?
My big major criticism of all 3 of these shows is there's absolutely nobody out of the main cast that I see as quote unquote good people. They're terrible people to each other. They're terrible people to others with the intent of being funny and to create comedy. And like, I get that. But what I've found, and I think this list would have been different, honestly, 30 years ago.
Probably.
17, or even 20 years ago when I was 27. In that I need somebody that I care about and root for. And The Office, I think, is the most controversial one because everybody roots for Michael Scott a lot of times in that show, and I can't stand him. I'm like, you're a terrible human being who's obsessed with this little sliver of authority that you have. And I get it. People are like, oh no, he grows and develops and he becomes better over time. And I'm like, yeah, but you lost me in season 1, and I tried to come back in season 3, 4, 5. I watched different points, I watched different stories, and it just didn't work. It was a no for me, dog, in my later years, so to speak. Because Friends, everybody watched Friends. Like, everybody watched Seinfeld back in the 90s when those shows were on. There's a reason, like I said on the show, that when those actors' contracts would come up, the question of how much that got paid and would they sign new deals was almost as important as to whether or not the show got renewed. Like, everybody cared too much about what the Seinfeld crew was going to make per episode in that final.
Well, and the Friends crew once went in and demanded they all make the same, because they originally didn't all make the same, and famously went, and they got it.
Which, kudos to them.
Yeah.
But like, as I would watch these shows, and like I said, it's under a different eye now. It's just like, I'm like, they're objectively terrible people that are objectively terrible to each other. Even the ones that are in relationships are just horrible to each other. And I find myself having no one to root for and being like, this show is terrible. It's one of the worst out there. And I'll stand by it. Like, regardless.
And you should.
I stand by. I can't get past how much I don't like the characters of the show, and that's what drives a comedy.
So here is my what I was thinking as I was hearing this yesterday, as I was working out. This is what I heard, and what I thought.
Thanks for listening, by the way.
I try. I do my best. I've been a much more loyal listener recently. It's because I've been my workouts have changed. There's more time on with the earbuds in, so it's worked out very well. Cool. And then that's the first thing I do is go to you guys. But as I was listening, and as you're sharing this extremely valid criticism, your criticism of they are objectively terrible people doing terrible things to each other. Yes, they are. They absolutely are. And here's all I was thinking about. I had two thoughts. My thoughts progressed. My thoughts evolved the more you talked about this. The more you said, this is not an insult. It's going to sound like an insult. The more you basically said the same thing about all three shows. At first, I was like, we like to see that. People love to watch that. People love to watch that. Okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin was beating up his boss in 1997, and we all loved it. Right? And giving his boss a middle finger, and was essentially an asshole. The Rock, when he exploded his popularity, an asshole. Look at the most popular wrestlers today. Cody Rhodes. He's an asshole. Like, watch his promos. He's an asshole. Roman Reigns. Ginormous asshole. Okay?
It's okay. He's the most overrated main eventer in all of wrestling.
Thank you, Conrad Thompson. But when Roman walked out and was happy that Jacob Fatu basically put Powerhouse or Royce Keys in the hospital and made him cough up blood, and he was like, good job. Like, he's an asshole. CM Punk, giant asshole, even now in his character. Like I know you don't like the human being, and the human being I don't think is an asshole anymore. Character, though, still a huge asshole. Like, these are the three biggest baby faces in wrestling right now. Giant assholes. It's always been that way. Even Hulk Hogan would cheat to win, and people would cheer for him. Like, at least Ric Flair told you he was an asshole, but he was still a giant asshole. Like, that's where so people love that. But as you continue to talk about this, my thought process progressed. And remember, we would talk about one of the 4 or 5 times we tried to do the Babyface Heel podcast. Which, by the way, I really think this one's going to stick. I don't know about you.
Think so?
But I feel like this one's going to stick. Like, I feel good. I really feel like this
was asking me about like why it was called this, and I was like, well, every now and again, Greg just decides to change it, and then we see how long it lasts. So if it lasts, great. I'm here for the ride.
So let me ask you: do you go into this thinking that we'll be back to being the Greg DeMarco show at some point?
I've known you, and we've done this long enough to know that there's always a chance. So
does this feel different? Let me put it that way.
Different. It feels
I feel like it does too.
We're not taught. We're just the subject matter is different, so it makes more sense.
Yeah, even though we get back into wrestling on occasion.
And yes, we could still call it the Greg DeMarco show because you host it, you do the setup,
right. But that was just a working title. We all know that was just a working title.
But I also think that our dynamic in this format's been a little different too. I think we talk like not for nothing. It's Greg DeMarco show. We let Greg DeMarco talk. That's what people paid to see. So,
but this is good.
But I've been the sidekick. It's okay.
But you got a good. This is a good platform for you too. I like it. So anyway, as I was listening, to you guys talk about this, and it evolved. It reminded me of conversations we would have during the Babyface Heel podcast, and probably when we were talking about a Roman Reigns or somebody else. In all of us is a certain level of asshole. We're all terrible people to some degree. It's just the degree to which we're terrible and the degree to which we're willing to hold back how terrible we are or how terrible we feel about something on the inside. There's so many. It's like Spider-Man, right? I just saw Spider-Man again on Sunday for the third time. We wanted to go see it again. So, and my wife, rare move by the wife. Normally she would have been like, no, it's a Sunday night. She's got to work the next day. She went and she was like, it was better the second time. So, which my son said as well. For me, it's been great all 3 times. But there was a point where Punisher, Frank Castle, Spider-Man, early, first big scene in the movie, he prevents him from shooting up the tank, and he's like, I'm going to kill that kid. Like, there are plenty of times where we're seeing somebody at work, wherever, and we're just like, I'm going to kill that Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. And
we don't, because we suppress that terrible person on the inside who wants to kill that person. And it's just to the degree to which we're willing to suppress it. I told you a story before this show started about somebody who was trying to do a very bad thing and got outed doing that very bad thing. I could definitely want to react in ways that I'm not going to. It just is what it is. But there's that too. And it all boils up. But the whole point of that is to say that we're all terrible people. And there's a spectrum. Aesop Mitchell, on one of the editions of the Benchwarmers, had a quote that came out in the show because he works with special needs. And he was just like, they were talking about being on the spectrum. And he pointed out to everybody, we're actually all on the spectrum. That's why it's called the spectrum, right? We're either on one end, the other, or somewhere in between. So people jokingly say you're on the spectrum. They're right, because we all are. There's a spectrum of being a terrible person. We're all on it. It's just where we fall and how it is used. But I think part of the reason why all 3 of those shows were so damn popular and was because people loved watching terrible people be terrible people.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Like, I think that there is a piece of that. I think, like I said, ultimately, at the end of the day, things started to change for me at some point where I want to root for a good person. I think that's why Ted Lasso right now is so damn popular, and why it's made a comeback is because that character is flawed, has problems, but is a good person that you want to see succeed. And there's even the assholes in that show become less assholish, but they never stop. Like Jamie Tart never stops being an asshole in that show. Have you watched Ted Lasso?
Not a moment. I know all about it because you've explained it and everything. I
do think you would at least enjoy the first season.
I think I would, from based on everything people have said. I do think I would enjoy.
Nobody wants another streaming service. I understand, like Apple TV.
That's the problem. It's on Apple TV.
Is the big rub. I on Bandwagon Nerds. I think it even came up again.
It did. You are. They should be paying you.
I will bang on the drum about how great the content is on that stream. The first thing I ever watched on that streaming service, Greg, was a documentary about the Beastie Boys.
See, that's fucking dope. Like, right. I would watch that.
That's one of the first things that is exclusively on Apple TV. So, anyway.
And they should at least be giving you a free subscription.
You know, it would be nice. I don't think I'm gonna get one, but I appreciate it. So, but yeah, I agree, and I think that's why reality television works so well. I do think there is a level of people like to watch the train wreck, right? People like to see the terrible things. Survivor is on like it's what 40th?
It's in the 50s.
50th season, and that's all like Richard Hatch kicks that thing off into overdrive.
And it's all, and people hear that and they're like, but it has been 50 years. They've done more than one season in a year. Same with like the celebrity dance thing Big on ABC. I can't remember the name now.
Like Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. They're on season like 34 and it hasn't been 34 years. So it's okay.
Even the Real World failed on MTV until the second season when they started letting people be terrible to each other.
Well, yeah, because I even remember the first season. Like
nobody does.
Oh, I do. I remember the first season, especially when they broke into the control room. That was amazing. But I also remember during the first season when they were joking and they were just like they wanted sex and they got us. Like they literally joked all about it. But it still kicked things off for everybody else. But there's a reality show on Peacock that my wife took to this summer, and so I've watched a bunch of it off and on called Traitors. You ever heard of Traitors?
Hosted by Alan Cumming.
By Alan Cumming, yes. And they have 3 people in the house who are traitors, and they kill somebody overnight. Not really, of course, but they pick someone to be gone, and then everyone votes. And the point is for the faithfuls to try to get rid of the traitors. The faithfuls don't know who the traitors are. Of course, the traitors do because they meet up and everything else. And in 2 of the seasons, a traitor has won. Because basically when you get down to the final people, if anyone amongst the finalists are traitors, the traitors win. And they split the pot. However many, if there's 2 traitors left, the 2 traitors split the pot. And if there are faithfuls left, then the faithfuls win and they split the pot. One season, it came down to 4 faithfuls. All 4 faithfuls won and split the pot. And then there was like 1 faithful, and then there was 2 different seasons where a traitor won. And both of those times during the final rounds, one traitor turned on the other and got them banished by the group.
Right.
Without outing them as a traitor, because you can't. There are specific rules where you can't out them as a traitor. And both times that happened, then they do the final revelation, and it's usually 1 traitor and 1 faithful left. And of course, it's a TV show, so they always ask the faithful first to reveal what you are. And then when the traitor says, I'm a traitor, the faithful is floored.
Right.
Like, oh my God. And then they're mad. They're angry about this. And the traitor's like, this was my job.
Yeah, that was the game.
This was the game. The name of the show is Traitors. And even when they did the reunion show, they are still completely shocked that this person turned on them or sold, was a traitor in the end and brought them all the way. And that's the strategy. As a traitor, you bring someone with you to the end and convince them that you're not a traitor. And then you are, and then you win.
Because you're the traitor, yeah.
Yeah. And the hard part is the later seasons were all celebrities. Like early seasons were celebrities and normies. And I guess the next season's going to be all normies. But and so it's like, you didn't really need the $150,000. So you're going to be just fine. Like the last one, the final 2 people were both from Love Island.
So
Love Island USA.
We're using the term celebrity pretty liberally.
Yes, of course, yes. Okay. Love Island reality show star. Love Island UK was one, and Love Island America was the other one. The guy was from Love Island America. He was a traitor. He won. Love Island UK. I can't remember her name now, but she's from Scotland. No, she's from Ireland, because I could listen to her talk for hours. I don't even need to see her. Just listen to her talk. And so they were together from early on because they had that connection. Like the housewives always stay together. The Survivor people don't stay together. But later in the shows, the Survivor people didn't last because they got rid of them, because they know they were the gamers. They would say you're the gamers. You got the strategy, so we're going to get rid of you because you're the good players. Like poor Boston Rob made it as far as he could. But as soon as he showed up, they were like, yeah, this motherfucker, this Samuel L. Jackson's God, because he is going to destroy all of us because he can play this better than us. And they made Boston Rob a traitor. It was brilliant. The show is, they know what they're doing on these shows. Believe it or not, the producers know what they're doing on these shows. But she was just so shook up that dude was a traitor. And it's like, what did you expect? It's the old story of a man who cares for a snake and brings the snake back to life and health and everything. And then the snake bites him. And he's like, why'd you bite me? And he's like, because I'm a snake. It's the same fucking thing.
And you got to know that the producers of the show are going to do everything in their power to make sure that a traitor makes it to the finale.
No, they really don't.
What you see, they don't.
Because they did. Because like I said, there was one season where 4 faithfuls made it to the end,
right,
and knew who the traitors were. No,
but I do think that much like Major League Baseball, for example, would much prefer that the Dodgers and the Yankees always make the World Series.
Absolutely,
it makes for better television if you get the namesake of your show to the end of the show. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
There's only so much producers can do. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the players are the players and the people are the people, and they can do things that are unexpected. But producers, very much reality television, is fascinating in the amount of manipulation that the crew put forth to help guide the show in the direction they want it.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Sometimes
absolutely.
it doesn't.
They only did a big reunion thing at the end of the first season of The Mole. The Mole was brilliant, especially the first
Same
season of
sort
The Mole.
concept. I don't watch any of this sort of entertainment.
You would enjoy The Mole. The Mole. The thing about The Mole was you didn't know who The Mole was, but the Mole's job was to sabotage the game. Right, that was their job. And then when they voted at the end, they took a quiz, and it was just like, what color shirt was the Mole wearing? And so if you knew who the Mole was, you're getting these right. And if you didn't know who the Mole was, you weren't getting these right. But basically, they brought in the contestants just like you would interviewing contestants for a reality show. And as they were going through vetting out people to be on the show, they were also evaluating them for could this person be the Mole. So they didn't recruit the Mole separately. They recruited them all out of the pool of people. I would give my right arm to be on the Mole and give my left arm along with it to be the Mole. Like that is just, I would use the fact that I have leukemia. Like I would use that against the whole fucking cast. I don't care. Like I would do whatever I had to do. Yeah, I would. And then it'd be like why I couldn't jump out of the plane and cost us $50,000. Right. Like
there in like a confessional room.
Yeah.
Just battling every day, man.
Right. Just battling every day.
Try take one day at a time. This really helped me and my family.
Exactly.
God, he's almost in.
Two straight cycles of remission level numbers. Just had my appointment yesterday with the good doctor who
my diabetes is kicking my ass. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to quit drinking.
I remember you saying that.
Never good. I've had one drink since I got back from Rome.
Well, when in Rome.
But,
all right. So anyway.
Okay.
So that's our discussion about Friends and everything else. Where we go next is to commercial. That's where we go next. We go to commercial and we make that piece happen, and then we come back with some more. So hang out here. We're going to be right back, and we're going to have ourselves a good old time in the second half of the program. It's the Grown Ass Man Podcast with Greg DeMarco and Patrick O'Dowd here on the Chairshot Radio Network on thechairshot.com.
Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
All right. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show, the Grown Ass Man Podcast. Greg DeMarco, Patrick O'Dowd at Grown Ass Man Pod on Instagram, at Chairshot Media, ProWrestlingTees.com/thechairshot. You know the drill. Go out there and get you one of those damn beautiful t-shirts. Otherwise, you're going to see Patrick O'Dowd walking around in a Bandwagon Nerds t-shirt. You're going to look at that shirt, look about the fact that you were going to order it and didn't, and you're going to tell yourself, that's what we do. We take a sound bite, we overuse it, we drive into the ground, and then we move on to the next one. Hell yeah, we do. Absolutely.
I have one last question about the TV thing I meant to ask.
All right.
Had you ever heard of Cop Rock?
Oh, absolutely. So, okay. When I was a kid, I would come home from school, and there were things that I would watch coming home from school. I would watch
all 7 episodes of Cop Rock.
I would either watch the AWA on ESPN or World Class on ESPN, right? Whichever one it was, 4 p.m. Eastern time, I would watch. And on MTV, I would watch the MTV half-hour comedy hour. That's how I got into comedy as a young person. How I got into stand-up comedy, the half-hour comedy hour, right? It's a half-hour comedy show, usually 3 comics, snippets from their routine. It was hosted by Mario Joyner, right? The reason Mario Joyner matters is because when I was in college, the future lovely and talented Mrs. DeMarco at the time was not yet the lovely and talented Mrs. DeMarco, but we were together. Yeah. We went and saw Adam Sandler in college. Okay. Mario Joyner was the opening act for Adam Sandler. And me having watched the half-hour comedy hour as a kid was like, fuck yeah, Mario Joyner. Everybody else was like, when is Adam Sandler getting on this stage? So that was it. But Adam Sandler did 2 nights in Burris Hall at Virginia, the campus of Virginia Tech. First night sold out like that. It's me snapping by the microphone. I didn't even try to get tickets. Then when they released new tickets for the second night, that's when I went and got them. Interestingly enough, the first night was a Sunday, And then when they added a second night, they added a Saturday. Why they went Sunday at first and not Saturday, I don't. Might have been a travel thing for Adam. I don't know.
You never know.
I didn't ask him, so didn't really get that opportunity. No, but it's funny is that his show was like 90 minutes long, and it was 45 minutes of comedy and 45 minutes of songs.
That makes sense.
No one cared about the comedy whatsoever.
Right, because they all want to hear him sing.
He even joked. He was like, "Oh, who just want to listen to me sing like this?" That's just all he did. And then he eventually did. And he had a drummer come out. It was very interesting. He had a drummer come out
Nice.
and would have some music. Yeah, it was actually very well. It was very well done.
I'm going to a concert this week. Actually,
Are you? What are you seeing?
I am seeing the Violent Femmes
Okay.
this week. They are playing at our local outdoor venue, such as it is. The Treehouse Brewery is the name of the spot. Not going to drink at the Treehouse Brewery. That's going to be tough. But going to catch some blister in the sun, some added up. It's going to be a good time.
Why are you not going to drink? Oh, you can't drink. Never mind.
Try.
We know this already.
Bring down the sugars, sir.
Yes, understood. So, anyway, did we cover all the questions? Because again, we got derailed.
I just appreciate that you have heard of know about Cop Rock.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes. So I listened to Half Hour Comedy Hour, and there was a comedian on there who talked about Cop Rock, and to this day I vividly remember his routine, and he talked about why the show didn't work because he was like, so cop pulls you over, and it's just like, oh, sorry, officer, I was speeding, and the cop's like, not going to give you a ticket, but I am going to sing you a song. It's like, slow down, you drive too fast.
Yeah,
Gotta make that morning last. I remember that routine like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was all about Cop Rock. So I don't know if I've ever seen Cop Rock. I just know that I remember the stand-up comedy routine about Cop Rock.
I encourage everyone, and I said this on the show, 5 minutes out of your time, just YouTube a snippet. And then as you're watching that, think to yourself, a television executive saw this pitch and went, make it.
Sometimes you got to throw shit against the wall and see if it sticks. And by shit, I mean spaghetti. Don't actually throw shit. Have you ever done that? Have you ever actually thrown spaghetti against the wall? I have.
Oh, spaghetti. Yeah. I've done spaghetti. I thought you were asking if I threw shit against the wall.
No, I did not.
Not a thing that has happened. God.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
There's something definitely wrong with us sometimes.
It's not a thing that has happened. Yeah, I specifically remember a Baby Jesus Mickey James conversation. So we are not going to talk about
best friends, because guess what I was thinking about?
You were thinking about the Mickey James Baby Jesus conversation. Yes, you were.
Nick Aldis.
It'd be nice working with proper villains again.
I hate that man. I don't. I actually love Nick Aldis, and for that aspect, yes. Tear in my eye watching him wrestle. Truly. You know what it was? And this is for those not. This is SummerSlam. Nick Aldis hadn't wrestled in 3 years. General Manager SmackDown had a match on SummerSlam. It was the crowd's response to Nick Aldis. Like, I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't expect them to buy. I don't know if it's Minnesota. A lot of wrestling has come out of Minnesota, but still, like, I did not expect Nick Aldis to get the response.
NWA guy, like, TNA was the kind of the peak for him.
It's not like he was a longtime WWE superstar, forced to retire from injury, and then came out of retirement for a match. Like, no, he hadn't wrestled in 3 years and had this match and with Gunther and lost, but it was the response he got at the end was just phenomenal. And now I think he gets a different response as a general manager. Right. Like it flows. It flows.
I do think there, you can just see, and there was an interview floating around that he did right before it too, where he gets really choked up about having this opportunity. I do think that people being able to see kind of how much that meant to him really contributed to the crowd's response. And, to me, I think, and you would probably agree with this, I thought it was more exciting to me when Adam Pearce stepped into a ring outside of his role in the WWE, even in a kind of silly way. But,
Right.
Like as a guy that we interviewed more than once,
5 times.
and it was always great to Craig and I when he came on the show. Like that was cool to see, and it was fun. It was great to see Nick Aldis though back in a ring. Thought it, he was very honest afterwards. He was like, it was blown up in like a minute. He's like, doesn't matter how hard you work out, once you're actually doing it, it's a different thing.
He was very much blown up, and he even admitted it afterwards. Yeah. I think, and I do love the angle that a lot of people didn't see because it happened on, like, where he actually tendered his resignation to Triple H after that match, and basically said like he's resigning as general manager. Triple H tore it up, to kind of show that he was still going to be the general manager. I think the next step for Nick Aldis is a tag team match with Adam Pearce.
Oh.
Like at a WrestleMania or at a whatever, like further down the road. You don't do it right away. That's what I think the logical next step is. And I think people would love that too. So good on them. Good on him. But that was sidetrack, side note. We've talked about way too much wrestling today. I apologize.
It's okay.
It's all me, man.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid?
Should have known better.
Should have known better.
It's time!
That sound means it's time for the grown-ass moment of the week. And we might have more than one, and that's okay. So I'm going to start with my grown-ass moment of the week. I was, the other day, I went outside, and I was my truck, like the daughter would call it the cauldron emoji came on, but it was the tire pressure indicator. Like, they're all emojis for her. She's got a whole list of what they are, and they're kind of funny. So the cauldron emoji comes on, and so I go out and I've got an electric pump on an extension cord or whatever. And at the same time, we were dealing with garage door issues. So normally I would pull into the garage, do this in the garage, but I didn't. So I had the extension cord, go out, double check the pressure on each of the tires with the electric pump, fill them up, whatever. My next door neighbor comes out. She's going to her car, get in the mail, whatever. I don't know. Looks at me, and I'm clearly filling a tire with air. She walks by and she looks at me and she's like, "You're doing yard work. It looks great."
Okay.
I like that you just said K right there.
Awesome! I came to...
Okay.
So, and I was just like, yeah, thank you. Because I didn't want to be like, obviously I'm putting air in a tire. You've seen, like, there's yard, there's sidewalk, and then there's like some more curbage before you get to the actual street. Like that's Verado, highfalutin neighborhood, whatever. Like that's what it is. So I'm clearly not doing yard work at all. Like not only that, the corridor we live on, the lawn care maintenance is taken care of by the HOA. Like none of us do yard work. So I don't know what the hell she was talking about. And I'm just like, what? So question I have for you, because this is going to bring out some other thing. At this stage of my life, in my 40s, about to be an empty nester, very busy at work. My wife's peopling all day with her role in the school systems, whatever. We are not neighborly people anymore. We aren't. This neighbor who had this conversation, who's lived next to me for 6 years, do not know her name. Do not know. I just know she cannot park. Like terribly parks. You know the scene in Spider-Man, Brand New Day, when they're rushing to, this wasn't the hospital. I don't remember where Punisher's rushing to, but he parks the van at this angle and just runs inside. Right. That's an embellished representation of how this woman parks. Like, I'm just like, what the hell? Like, come on. But whatever. It is what it is. People next to me, that house is somewhat of a rotating door, but they've been there for 2 years now. They got kids. We actually gave them a soccer training net because we don't need it anymore, and their kids getting into soccer. So like, we've done some things, but we just don't. And I think, but that's my thing. Like, how much time do you spend with or talking to your neighbors? Because you lived in that house for a really long time.
Our neighbors across. So you've been to my house.
Yeah.
But
2014.
Yeah.
2016. I don't remember. It's been a while.
I've gone west a couple of times. Met you in Vegas once.
It is my turn.
Kind of want to do it again at some point. Go to do a Vegas run again.
I think we need to pick a different city.
We can pick a different city. It's okay, but I enjoyed the Vegas stuff.
I just my last couple
if Lionel Richie is back there,
okay.
Do we spend the money? Because it was overpriced. I remember looking and it was so expensive that I was like,
I think we do, but it was also a spur of the moment thing. I think we plan ahead and we do the Lionel.
I won a trip. That's how I ended up there.
I know.
So, but our neighbor across the way, Bob and Helen, we interact with them pretty regularly. Like Bob and Helen Bob keeps an eye on our mail and waters our plants while we're on vacations, for example. Now, they are senior citizens. This is the house that one of them will end their life in. And I don't mean like in a horrible way. They're just old people. But them and our neighbors, right directly next to us, Don and Betty, we used to interact with them a lot more when our neighbor Betty's health started to turn. Like we see Don every once in a while and we'll chat, but like not nearly as much, not the way we used to. Outside of that, in the neighborhood, like a lot of and you've seen our neighborhood. Our neighborhood, like my house is at the top of a hill, and these are all basically the exact same design layout of homes that, there's my house, Bob and Helen's at the top of the cul-de-sac, and then you just start going downhill to the main street to get out to wherever you're going. The rest of the houses have all turned over residents except for like two. And just, we never really connected with those families ever at all. And we haven't since. Most of the people that I spend my time with are not my neighbors. They are people I met when I was a residence hall director living on a campus. And the people that you had readily available to interact with. I'm not saying you're my best friend because you're the only one that was there, but it's also like those are the immediate people that you are connected to, and you find those people that you maintain connections with, and those became my people once we moved out and started living our own. So like I have friends in our town,
right? So there's been The Office, there's been Parks and Rec, there's been Friends, whatever. Residence Life would be an amazing sitcom just for the lives of the residence hall directors. But it's not a well-known enough profession that people would tune in and care about it as the Walmart Superstore ones and all the other ones, right? They just would not care as much as they would. Like you could do a dorm life one for the students, but really there's just the interplay of the hall directors. Cause it was like, when I was in grad school, it was like fucking high school. Like that's how they treated it. And then for us, it was a little bit different because there were definitely some personalities and I mean, it was a unique time, one that I will cherish forever, but a unique time for sure. Yeah. So,
well, and you
definitely that.
I don't know about you. You had there was the core, like sort of closest friends that you'd made through there. I also felt like you did have connections with a few more folks than a lot of us did in different ways, whether it was through your comedy or just your personality in general and the way that you could interact with folks. But yeah, it was always fascinating to me when I moved out there. And I still never forget the dinner I had for my interview where my hosts were trying to move this along as fast as possible because somebody else's partner, it may have been their birthday, and they were trying to go to that party.
They were probably trying to go to a restaurant called Red Rock because that was always the thing that we did. Yeah. Red Rock.
I wonder if Red Rock's still there.
I looked it up not too long ago, and it was. So
there was that, and then there was the pizza place on the other side.
Yeah.
Wellington
Pizza or Willimantic. No, Willimantic's something else. Wellington Pizza. And then, of course.
Willimantic was where kids, to tell you how old Greg and Patrick are, Willimantic is where the Blockbuster was.
Yes.
And
that's right.
DeMarco for Patrick as a Christmas gift one year. Got him his first few months of Netflix. Because I got tired of Patrick being like, I'm going to Blockbuster to go pick up some movies. And you were just like, why? Get Netflix. And I was like, I don't want to get Netflix. And he sort of tricked me into it. Because then I had it and the convenience got me. And now I do podcasts where I make fun of streaming services.
Red Rock is still a thing.
Oh, good.
So very happy. Very happy. It was good. The wings were amazing. Like,
yep. I ate many a calzone from Red.
Yes.
That was my jam. I like calzones. There's a reason I have diabetes, everybody. I ate a lot of food.
We all did. We all definitely did. So another place that always comes to mind whenever we talk about the restaurants around Yukon. This one was a little further away. I don't remember which direction it would go to, but it was a Greek restaurant called Apollo.
Yep.
That we would all go to routinely. And delicious, whatever. But my favorite memory of going to Apollo was when my son was born. We were in the hospital for a week, right? Because we went there Monday. His due date was Wednesday. Went there Monday. Didn't have him Monday. Didn't have him Tuesday. Finally had him Wednesday. They do induce, and then they eventually do an emergency C-section. All that. Thursday, Friday. I think Friday night they sent us home, right? Because Thursday night they told me to go home so I could prepare and sleep, whatever. So we're getting out of this place on Friday, and we have nothing. We have nothing. Now, this is people mean well, okay? People mean well, and they say things. And I remember one of the hall directors, who I don't think ever really liked me too much. We won't name names. We'll change the name to protect the innocent. So we'll call this person Brandy. Okay. Patrick always laughs when I do that because that's obviously I'm not changing names. Said, we'll all bring you meals every day for a week or whatever, right? Zero meals. But first day out, we are going home and we're hungry and we want real food. And a bunch of us, you were probably there. I don't know. You should have been. Maybe you weren't. Maybe it's something going on. It was April. It would have been April 14th. We go to Apollo, the Greek restaurant. We brought a 3-day-old into a Greek restaurant.
Oh boy.
And it was like late and whatever, and it wasn't busy. So like the place was dead. And we were treated like kings and queens, princes and princesses by this restaurant because we had a baby. And we told them, oh yeah, he was just born or whatever. This child was in the kitchen. This child was everywhere.
I don't think I was there for it, but I definitely.
I'm pretty positive no one paid for anything. I don't think anyone paid for any food that day. They just brought everything out. I think we had 2 of everything. I think we were Braun Strowman. What's on the menu? We ordered the whole thing. They brought it to us. And this is a Greek restaurant. So they were probably poking and prodding. Someone probably put their finger in his mouth. Like this child was everywhere. And this was day 3 of life.
There you go.
And people now, he's 20, but nowadays people would freak the hell out because they have like a bubble around their child or whatever. Like, right. And we were just like, and so he as a baby was always cool being passed around and being with everyone because of being in housing and residential life and everything else. Whereas my daughter like wanted nothing to do with anybody. So,
well, I think about it like the little O'Dowd, his first home, like he's never known any house other than the one that I'm recording this podcast in, but his first home was a residence home. Because when Mrs. O'Dowd told me she was pregnant, I put in my notice that I would leave the following school year because she was going to give birth in February, gave us time to find a house. We were ready to go. But I remember that my one memory as to why I was glad that we had a house was he was a very colicky child. He used to cry for like 6 hours. He would start at 6 p.m. almost like an alarm and would cry until at least midnight. Nothing you could do to chill him out. And then eventually he'd chill out and he'd sort of sleep. And one night I was on call in my residence hall apartment. This baby has been crying particularly long. It is 3:00 in the morning. He has finally fallen asleep on my chest.
Mm.
And the fire alarm gets pulled by a jackass on a Saturday night. The fire chief, or not the fire chief, but like the fire department, because the people who work there, they always know the hall staff. We're
of course.
like, just stay in the lobby unless it's a real fire, and then we'll throw you out. So my wife is holding my child by the door as all the students are evacuating. And they keep being like, oh, and I keep being like, don't paw at my fucking kid. You did this, you pieces of shit. You fucking ruined my night.
One of them did, yes.
One asshole. None of you get to Google over my child.
Because one asshole ruined it for the other assholes.
But no shortage of people who were willing to look after a child. Like I had no shortage of babysitters back then. It was great, but I don't know where I was going with that story, but that's my child story. He is more like your daughter, not like your son.
Well, she didn't like to be passed around, whatever. Now she likes people somewhat, but my family, I am the extrovert of the family for sure.
Yes. No,
way.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I am the extrovert. The other three would much rather. My son is probably like midway. Like he acts like he doesn't like people, but I'll be talking to him and I'll hear him randomly while I'm talking to him, have a random conversation with a complete stranger and then go right back to talking to me. And I'm just like, you tell me you don't know how to talk to people? Like Samuel L. Jackson, you know how to talk to people. Tell me that.
About it. What I think is really interesting is the thing that I think a lot of people who don't know me very well and only see me socially don't understand. Because I do a lot of things outside the house, people think that automatically means you are extroverted. And that's not true for me at all. Like,
no, I know.
People talk about the karaoke thing all the time. It's like, oh, you got to be an extrovert. You go up there and you sing on stage, you do all this stuff. I was like, no, if you see me at karaoke, you'll see me chilling probably at the bar or a table I can find, keeping to myself. Enjoy, like I like being around people. Like I do like the vibe. I would go and do it. But like you won't see me glad handing people. You won't see me introducing myself to folks. Any friend I've made at karaoke is because somebody came up to me and we chatted and we became friends after. There is like one friend I ever approached, and that's my friend Amanda, who was having a Galentine's Day party with another friend, and she was giving her a book. It was a tabletop book about the movie Labyrinth, the Muppet David Bowie film from the 80s. And I talked about that book and how much I loved it. And then I kept running into her as I would go to karaoke, and we became friends that way. That's about it. Every other friend I've ever made, they came and talked to me. I'm a coward.
I don't know. I mean, I brought up the T-shirt first, but like I don't know how things progressed from there.
We just kind of fell into it. Like
we did.
Like the wrestling thing came up.
It was very Step Brothers. Like it was. It was very like, did we just become best friends?
Without the animosity.
Yes,
no fighting.
That's true.
No fighting.
That's true. Yes, you're right. You're right.
But you'd invited me to some of this. Like you'd invited me to the poker game with the other guys, and that was just
which you never did.
My jam. Yeah, it was just not my thing. I was not interested. And if there's one thing about me, like if I'm not interested in it, I'm not going to do it. Great.
And you didn't.
Am I going to do another podcast? Am I going to have a podcast?
No, you are not.
Website?
Nope.
Not
fucking happening.
Right. Because I'm not interested in doing it. And that's okay. But yeah, I couldn't even really tell you when it clicked for the two of us. Like it just suddenly we were hanging out with each other.
I kind of feel like it happened like right away. I also think there was because I was already there, right?
The ROH story. Yes, you were there before I was.
But only for a semester, I think, right? I wasn't there a year because I was a mid-year hire. I was a famous mid-year hire.
I do think the summer had a lot to do with it because over the summer, we like the people, like there was a group of us that would blow off work in the middle of the afternoon and go get ice cream. for example, over
At the Dairy Barn, yeah. Or we would eat at the Union. We would eat lunch at the Union every day.
But you were trying to talk me back into getting into wrestling, and you had mentioned that Hardy's, or Matt Hardy, was going to be appearing in Connecticut to face Christopher Daniels at an ROH show. Do you remember what day that show took place, Greg?
July 16th.
Yes. So Greg DeMarco asked
July 16th, 2006.
asks Patrick O'Dowd, oh, hey, I want to check out this Ring of Honor stuff. Matt Hardy is getting a lot of steam because of the shit that was going on. Like, people were very sympathetic to him post Edge and Lita and all that. And he's making this show. He's doing these 3 shows, but then he's supposed to come back. Do you want to go to the show in Connecticut on July 16th? And I'll remember it. We were having lunch. We were outside sitting around with some other folks. I was like, I don't think I've got anything going on. Let me check with the fiance and just make sure. Boop, boop, bop, bop, boop. Hey, Mrs. O'Dowd. Hey, future Mrs. O'Dowd. What am I doing on July 16th? You're getting married. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I looked and I was like, dude, I can't go.
Dude, I can't go. That's the exact quote. Dude, I can't go. It's just so good. It was amazing. Yeah.
I'm a fascinating partner.
What am I doing on July 16th?
But
You're getting married.
Wrestling really was one of the bigger catalysts, though. You getting me back into it, watching Raw. I discovered that's when I first learned about TNA in the first place. And and it had
only been around for a few years at that point.
And that was back when they were on like Fox Sports.
Fox Sports Net. Before it was FS1, it was Fox Sports Net. Yeah.
And I remember the 6-sided ring. Kevin Nash was part of the show, and I was like, wow, Kevin Nash is still wrestling. How about that? And I remember there was a timer of some sort and judges involved in the matches, because if they went to a time limit draw, their 15-minute time limit draw, then it went to the judges, and they never went to the judges ever. I think I maybe saw it happen twice.
I'm sure it happened at some point. Yeah,
because you don't have it without using them at some point.
Exactly. It's the thing about wrestling. Like, if they're there, you got to use them at some point. It's just the way that shit works. Like, come on. And the T-shirt is what started it all. Like, he showed up to the mixer, the little mixer that they did for everybody to meet everybody. And I'm pretty sure I was only there for a semester at that point. Like, I think you got hired.
You were still pretty new.
And for some reason, even though I was only there for a semester, like, they put me on the search committee, and sent me to conferences and everything else. And because I pushed them out of their comfort zone for hiring, because they never recruited people. They just let people come to them, and then they hired all the same freaking people. And I was like, they have these giant conferences where people go to get jobs, right? Like, you could easily you complain about your pool, but you don't do anything to make your pool better. Far be it from me.
I'll have you know that shitty pool got me hired, sir. You know what it says about me, but damn it, I got a job.
You were a late hire too. But anyway, so because you were going to go somewhere else, but you couldn't because of the future lovely and talented Mrs. O'Dowd. Like, yeah, it's a whole big thing. But we have the mixer, and Pat had only recently been hired. And so that's why he was still fresh. Because, like, remember, I'm the person in the interview who asked you what you put on your pizza. Like, I'm that guy. But the other people around us also said that we were going to be fast friends. Like, they thought we were going to be. Like, we were literally match made by our friends.
Aww.
And he shows up and he's wearing a shirt. The code, respect the code, I think, or know the code.
It just said the code, yeah.
The code. And for those of you listening, the code is, of course, up, down, left, right, BA start. It's the Contra code. And I saw that shirt and I was like, it's the Contra code. And the rest, as they say, is history. And now we're on a podcast. 24 years later, 25 years later.
I mean, you think how as gosh,
23.
Didn't know we were going to get in our feels at the end of this show, Greg.
You never know.
But I mean, it's silly to say this, but podcasting kept our friendship alive. Like,
you think so?
Not really, but no, it was just moving to Arizona. That's a big, like, it was
tough.
A big thing.
Yeah.
And you have to, like, it does tell you how much we valued our friendship because we invested the time in each other to continue to like we were calling each other. That's how the podcast got born. We would call each other and talk for like 3 hours about wrestling. And then you started being like, hey, I think I kind of want to turn this into a podcast. Folks, you don't know this. Greg DeMarco, before this guy was Mr. Video Game Entertainment, before he was on the WWE, while he was on TNA, I think is still part of TNA. Greg DeMarco interviewed one-on-one Xavier Woods for a long time. It was a long interview. It was in between.
It was in between his. It was 2010. It was in between his stints with different places. And he was Austin Creed. Yeah, sure did. Doesn't exist anywhere now, but that's the magic of the internet.
And that interview, that was before we started doing these.
Yeah, that was back when I had a fake co-host.
Yeah, that was Greg experimenting with podcasts. And I've listened to some of those. He had sound bites back then too. I did.
Well, I needed them because I didn't have any. I had a fake producer named Furman, and Furman had a different last name every episode. There were only like 4 of them, but yeah, Furman Escobedo, Furman Fernandez.
Greg worked his way into this medium and then brought me along. Like, it really did become like the phone calls kind of don't happen nearly as often.
Right.
It's because we have this. And this is honestly, a lot of times, yes, it's a podcast and we have topics and things we want to cover, but it's also how we keep up with each other.
Which is funny. Like, we record a podcast and we put it out to the world. At the end of the day, this is just as much for us as it is for you.
Right. And like even today, like we're getting close to wrapping this show up. We're over an hour, a little bit more than an hour at this point. But,
hour 12, according to this. Now, after editing, it might be different, but yeah.
And we joke about the number of times we, don't record or that we cancel, but we always know we're going to come back to it. And we've always prioritized like our lives before podcasting because we know the other one's there.
Like, don't be shocked if we don't have an episode the next 2 weeks because it's going to get busy again.
Well, and that it's right now I'm on track for next week. I do think I could
see if there's a risk factor. It's me because Tuesday or Wednesday is when we leave to drive to Tucson to move my daughter in. So,
yeah, we should totally not do a podcast.
Probably not going to. Yeah,
don't do a podcast next week. That's fine. I actually this frees something up because I'm probably going to jump on DJ's podcast.
There you go.
Because they're re-releasing the Transformers movie.
Yes.
The OG animated film.
I was there for that trailer park.
I'm sad because I'm not going to be able to go watch it because the Elder O'Dowds are coming to visit their progeny, and so I will be hosting. And I don't think I can be like, "Hey, y'all want to go check out this movie that
Why not?
You took me to as a child, and I cried in the theater because
everyone did.
Because he didn't just die; he turned black and basically crumbled into nothing.
Damn that!
And Hasbro thought they'll be okay; they'll buy the new toys. No, we weren't. We were traumatized. Hasbro, you fucked up.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right. So we are late in the show, but we have to do something. We have to pick. Can I change volume of sound bites on this? I don't know if I can. I don't know if it'll let me. There it is. Okay, good. We can. So it's time to pick the name of this week's show. Now I have quite the list. This is I need to start becoming more selective. That's lesson learned by me. I need to start becoming more selective because I could literally make I need to start becoming more selective one of the potential titles. I need to start becoming more selective. So I just put the numbering on it and there's 21. It's gonna be 22 now that I have this. So we're gonna vet through these real quick. Number 1. There's a reason the food at the mom and pop shop tastes better. Number 1. Number 2, don't go to Buc-ee's. Number 3, the giant, not a giant, the giant effing beaver. Number 4, we'll talk about Christopher Daniels later. Number 5, corporatized a gas station. Number 6, should have known better. It might work. Number 7. I just randomly threw this in there. You probably remember. Small potatoes. Number 8. Terrible people doing terrible things to each other. Number 9. I really feel like this one's gonna stick. Did you get number 9? I saw a little. Okay. Number 10. That was just a working title. Number 11. They should at least be giving you a free subscription. Number 12. Diabetes is kicking my ass. Number 13. Not gonna drink at the Treehouse Brewery. Number 14, slow down, you drive too fast, gotta make that morning last. Number 15, I don't even know where this came from. That is not a thing that has happened.
Oh, that was
Okay, yeah. Number 16, Red Rock is still a thing. Number 17, people mean well. Number 18, one asshole ruined it for all the other assholes. Number 19, very stepbrothers, but without the animosity. Number 20, now it gets sentimental. Podcasting kept our friendship alive. Number 21, this is just as much for us as it is for you. And number 22, I need to start becoming more selective. Those are the options for show titles for this week.
Or
okay.
I think this one's gonna stick. Like, I think it's got to be about the show itself this time. I lean towards I think this one's gonna stick.
I really feel like this one's gonna stick. As I was reading them, that one jumped out at me as well.
So there you go.
I think so. So this is Grown Ass Man Podcast number 4. I really feel like this one's gonna stick. And with that, we appreciate you listening. Go follow Patrick Dowd at Wrestling Realist, WRESTLNG. REALIST. I'm at Greg DeMarco 44. The website's at Chairshot Media, at Grown Ass Man Pod. Go to thechairshot.com for all things sports, entertainment, and sports entertainment. Because you now have a daily news report. Focus on sports, focus on entertainment, focus on sports entertainment. And I reordered them so they go in that order because they weren't originally in that order. But when I added the third one, I felt like I had to. So go find all those things at thechairshot.com.
Thechairshot.com. Always use your head.
Until next time, just be a man. Just be a man. Even if you're out there and you're a woman, be a man.
He's a man. Such a man. Such a man. He's a real.
I'm a man. I'm 40.